All right. Good morning, Ms. Knott.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. If I could get you to raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this call shall be the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, Ms. Knott, I'm going to hold up what purports to be the last will and testament of Chester Anthony Broussard Sr. Do you recognize that as being his will?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and is that his signature on that document?
Yes, it is.
And after the date he made this will on January 29th of 1986, did he ever revoke it or amend it?
No, sir.
All right, go right ahead, Mr. Quigley.
Mrs. Knott, I understand you've read this proof of death and other facts, and to the best of your knowledge, everything in here is true and correct. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Very well. That's all we have, Your Honor.
All right, do you have a notary there, Mr. Quigley?
I do.
All
We'll
right.
go ahead and sign all three of your names there.
All three of my names.
Yeah.
Ms. Knott,
Yes, sir.
I was looking, I see, is this your grandfather?
It's my dad.
Your dad.
Yes.
And First Avenue, is that over there behind the old El Charles restaurant?
No, that's in Port Acres behind the Catholic Church.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You sign this one also.
Just had it. Maybe 16.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. All right, Your Honor, we're done here.
All right, Ms. Knott, I have just signed the order admitting your father's will to probate and authorizing the county clerk to issue letters testamentary that'll give you authority to act on behalf of the estate. You will be able to use that to deal with financial institutions, real estate title companies, or whatever the case may be. But Mr. Quigley will get those for you as soon as he's e-filed it. If you'll make sure you cooperate with him in getting him a listing of the assets of your father's estate so he can prepare an inventory. But other than that, y'all have a great week and let me know if y'all need anything.
Thank you, Judge. We
Thank
appreciate your help.
Here now.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Fox. Give me just a minute.
Yes, sir.
All right. It says the will self-prove, but I see 3 people there and only 2 applicants. So tell me what we're doing, Mr. Fox.
Yes, sir. If you recall, this will was amended as a muniment of title in March, and then they've discovered some assets at a financial institution that's requiring an executor. So we're coming back. I've got Miss Terrio here with me as the applicant, seeking to be appointed as executor. Her husband is Terry's here with her just for support. He's named as the alternate executor if she and her sister couldn't serve. Her sister's deceased. That death certificate was filed with the muniment of title. And then the last person is my assistant, Dale Rice, who will be the notary to notarize the oath and the proof of facts.
Okay.
So only Ms. Terrio will be testifying.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this call shall be the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Fox, since it's already been admitted as a muniment of title, I don't need to get her to identify the will, so you can proceed.
Correct. Ms. Terrio, you're Beverly Ruth Terrio, also known as Beverly Terrio. Is that correct?
Yes,
And you're here before the court asking the court to appoint you as the independent executor of the estate of Ruby Stegall. Is that correct?
yes,
That was your mother?
yes,
And you understand the will was already admitted to probate, but you're asking the court to appoint you as executor because you've discovered assets with a financial institution, Merrill Lynch, and they're telling you have to have letters testamentary to proceed with collecting the account. Is that correct?
yes,
And we've had a chance, we filed this proof of death and other facts with the court. You've had a chance to read through that and review that this morning. Is that
Yes.
correct?
yes,
And it's all within your personal knowledge and it's true and correct?
yes.
Judge, that's all I have, unless you have any questions.
When her proof is signed and you've got it notarized.
Yes, sir. Okay, if you'll sign right there,
Where?
right there.
Then, Mr. Terrio, once you're done signing, and it's been notarized, I'll sign the order admitting the will to probate and authorizing, or at least an order granting the issuance of letters testamentary to you. You'll use those letters to show your authority to act on behalf of the estate. If you would please make sure that you cooperate with Mr. Fox in getting him a listing of the assets of your mother's estate, because he's gonna have 90 days from today to file an inventory with the court, okay?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Judge, the proof and the oath have both been signed and notarized.
All right, Mr. Terrio, I've signed the order authorizing the issuance of letters testamentary to you, and Mr. Fox will guide you through the rest of the process. I hope everything goes well. Y'all let me know if y'all need anything.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Judge. Thank you very much.
You have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ms. Binkley?
Signing it again. Let's scoot over this way. Okay, we're very small in the corner. What do we do to enlarge that?
It'll do it when the judge comes in.
Oh, okay.
I cut my hair short.
There, friend who lost hers in cancer. I wouldn't shave it, so it's close.
Oh, it feels good.
And I'm hoping that I've got the volume turned up where it needs to be. I think I have it all the way up. So
It's just handy.
I have,
She's great.
I don't know how to work this thing, so I'm just guessing.
Well, that's because we used to Zoom and it was nice. I enjoyed that. I didn't have to have my hair and my clothes. All this will work out, man. I guess I'm tired of it all.
No, or I don't blame you.
Okay.
And they haven't done this properly, but. You know, here
Good
we are.
morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Let me see. All right,
We don't see you, Your Honor.
please. Is she raising her right hand?
Me neither. Hold on. This is,
Yeah.
I'm Jessica Belair.
Raise your right hand.
And
Okay,
Okay.
Ms. Binkwitz, I don't need to see you. I just need to see your client. All right, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this call should be the truth, so help you God?
yes, sir.
Okay,
I
Ms.
do.
Belair, I'm gonna hold up what purports to be the last will and testament of Jesse M. Belair. Do you recognize that as being the will of Jesse?
Yes, sir. Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
go to the signature page and ask you if you recognize that as being the signature.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and after this will was made on October 29th of 2015, was it ever changed or revoked?
No, sir.
All right, go right ahead, Ms. Binkwitz.
Thank you. Thank you. Jessica, you and I have talked about the proof of death and other facts, which I have in my hand. And all of the facts on here deal with your father and his life and his passing and his will.
Yes.
And this will has never been revoked, as you just said. And therefore, as far as you know, all of the facts on this document are true and correct.
Yes, ma'am.
And as far as you know, there is no reason why you could not serve as executor.
Right. There.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you to go ahead and sign it.
Okay.
How you doing, Ms. Binkowitz?
I'm doing fine. I have some weird throat thing, but so does my secretary. So
It seems to go away, come around this time of year.
as it does. How are you doing?
Wonderfully. There, I was, you live on Lay Street over in Groves?
Yes, sir.
I still remember, I grew up in Pear Ridge, but I used to ride my bike over there. And had some friends over on Lay and Eugenia, and I always thought riding my bike down those streets, man, these people are rich. Look at these houses.
That's funny.
Well, everything's relative.
Right.
Okay. Belinda has notarized them.
All right, Ms. Belair, I have signed the order admitting your father's will to probate and authorizing the clerk to issue letters testamentary, and Ms. Binkowitz will get those for you. That'll give you authority to act on behalf of the estate. If you just make sure that you cooperate with her in getting her a listing of the assets of the estate, she has 90 days from today to file an inventory. And if y'all need anything, you just let us know and we'll be here, and y'all have a great rest of your week.
You have a blessed one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Brinkley?
I think he didn't have his camera turned on
Right.
because I had, when I set it up, I said, join this video.
Yeah.
So we should share.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. There we go.
All right, good morning, Mr. Brinkley.
Good morning, Judge.
All right, let's see. Mons is on, good morning. Okay, I see, is that Mr. Graves with you, Mr.?
Yes, Your Honor. I have Mr. Graves with me and also have the two witnesses here, Tolly and Peggy Corder. They're here as well.
Okay, if you could, can you get all three of them in on one shot?
Yes, we can do that. We can do that. They're going to come around.
Yeah, those dang notaries are always in the way.
Yeah.
All right, raise your right hands, please. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this call should be the truth, so help you God?
Yes, we do.
Okay, go right ahead, Mr. Brink.
Thank you, Judge. I'll start with the witnesses with regard to heirship, and I'll call Tolly Corder first. Tolly, you've had, how do you know the family, Tolly?
Mostly from church and just long-term relationship. We've just known them from church a long time.
Okay, and Tolly, today we showed you a proof of death and proof of death and which is in the form of an affidavit of heirship. You've had a chance to look at that document, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And now that we've made some modifications to it, everything on there is true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'll pass this witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Tolley, you mentioned that you knew the decedent primarily through church, is that right?
That's correct.
And I believe you knew what her employment was at Kelly as a librarian also, is that right?
No,
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 Belinda,
okay. All right, you knew that she only had one child and that was Kelly Graves, is that correct?
right, Belinda had one child, Kelly.
Right. And how long did you know Belinda? Over 30 years?
How old are you, Kelly?
Okay. For quite some time, you knew Belinda Graves for quite some time, and you knew that she only had the one child, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And as far as you know, she never adopted any child or took any child in as her own.
That's
other than
correct.
Kelly Graves, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And as far as you know, she was never married to anyone other than Wayne Graves Jr., correct?
That's correct.
All right. I'll pass the witness.
Nothing further for this witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Porter.
Your Honor, I'd call Peggy Quarter. Okay, Mrs. Quarter, you've heard the testimony today, and you also have had a chance to look at that affidavit of facts concerning the identity of heirs. Is that correct?
that is correct.
And is everything that we've recorded on there true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay, and how did you know the family?
Again, through church. I also kept Kelly as a toddler for several years.
Okay.
When she worked.
So it's safe to say that you've had a long-standing relationship with the family for a number of years?
Yes.
Okay, I'll pass this witness, Your Honor.
Just one or two questions. Your long-standing relationship with the family of Belinda Graves goes for over 30 years. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you have personal knowledge that Kelly Graves is Belinda Graves' only child,
Correct.
and that she did not adopt any other children.
That is correct. She did.
And that Wayne Graves and her did divorce some time ago, but they remained cordial, friendly, and had continued to have a relationship even after the divorce. Is that right?
Correct. Yes.
I'll pass the witness.
Hey, Your Honor, that's all that I have for this witness. I would call Wayne Graves next.
Okay, you can go ahead. I'll tell you what, Mr. Brinkley, why don't you go ahead and have the porters go ahead and sign their
You got it. Okay.
we're taking Mr. Graves.
We'll have them sign those affidavits. Mr. Graves, while they're doing that, you've heard the testimony today about airship, and do you agree with the testimony that's been given today about airship?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You've had a chance to look at our application for determination of airship, and all the facts that we stated on there are true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
I've also shown you've asked the court to appoint you as the independent administrator for this estate. And the reason you've done that is that there's essentially some estate business that needs to be transacted that requires the appointment of an administrator. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. You've had a chance to look at the amended proof of death and other facts that I showed you today. Is that correct?
Right.
And is all the information on there true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Nothing further from this witness, Your Honor.
I have nothing for this witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Let me know when his proof is notarized.
Okay. Go ahead and have the proof and the oath.
Mr. Graves?
Okay. Your Honor, the proof and the oath have been signed, and she's notarizing it as we speak.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Graves, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm fixing, as soon as she tells me they're notarized, I'm gonna sign the judgment declaring heirship and the order authorizing independent administration of the estate. You'll then have 90 days within which to file an inventory with the court. And so if you'd cooperate with Mr. Brinkley in making sure you get him the information he needs to prepare that. But otherwise, if there's anything else y'all need, you let the court know. Mr. Johns, thank you for your service. The court takes notice of your report. I've signed the orders in connection with that report, and you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And, so let me know if you need anything else.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great one.
You too.
Okay, let's see here.
Here's Tate's. Okay, who's there?
Morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Tatum. Give me 1 second. You have Miss Sonia there with you?
Yes, Judge. I'll put her on. All right, you can roll over. We just have one computer.
This chair don't want to. Hello,
Good morning.
good morning.
I'm almost finished looking. Give me 1 second. All right, Ms. Sonia, if you'll raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this call should be the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, Ms. Sonia, I'm gonna hold up what purports to be the last will and testament of Henrietta Hebert. Do you recognize that as being her will?
Uh-huh. Yes, sir.
And is that her mark on that document?
Yes, sir.
And it appears as though, let me see here. She did this in the presence of Yvonne Como, Lisa Maddox, and yourself. Is that correct?
Uh-huh. Yes, sir.
And that was on June 11th of 2003.
Yes, sir.
And after the date she made this will on that date, did she ever change it or revoke it?
No, sir.
Okay, go right ahead, Mr. Tatum.
Okay, Ms. Sonia, in front of you is the amended proof of death and other facts. Have you reviewed this document?
Yes, sir.
And are all the contents of that document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you put the, while she's signing that document, can you put the camera on the two disinterested witnesses, Mr. Tatum?
Yes.
Okay, I move over here. Yeah. I move over there. So do I wait? You can go ahead.
You can sit here.
Okay, I sign.
Okay, here's the first one. This is Mr. Sawyer.
Okay, could you get Ms. Hebert to go in behind him?
Good morning.
Come in a little bit more.
Oh,
Okay,
which way? This way?
If you need us.
Okay.
Okay, raise your right hands, please.
Sherry Sawyer, AKA Sherry Ann. Okay.
Okay, you are Virgil Sonier and Sharon Hebert.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this call should be the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, go right ahead, Mr. Tatum.
Okay, Mr. Sawyer, were you personally acquainted with Miss Henrietta Hebert, AKA Henrietta Lene Hebert?
Yes,
And were you familiar with Mrs. Hebert's signature?
yes,
And have you seen the last will and testament of Miss Hebert?
And do that again.
yes,
And was the signature contained of that document,
Okay.
Miss Hebert's signature?
yes.
And, Miss Hebert, were you familiar with Henrietta Hebert, AKA Henrietta Lene Hebert?
Yes.
And were you familiar with Miss Hebert's last will and testament?
Yes.
And was the signature contained on the last will and testament Miss Hebert's signature?
Yes.
Was I supposed to write that too?
And on the date of
Okay.
Miss Hebert's passing, was she of sound mind and over the age of 18 years of age?
Yes.
And sorry, I forgot to ask you this, Ms. Sonia. On the date of Miss Hebert's passing, was she of sound mind and over the age of 18 years?
Yes.
And you also have those in front of the.
Okay, can we go back to Ms. Sonia?
Sonia. Oh, we have two Ms. Sonia, sorry.
And why are we probating this will more than 4 years after the date of death of your mother?
At the time, we didn't have no need, but since she's deceased and everything, and we were wanting to go ahead and just let go of the house and, you know, and we have to do that because that's all she had. And that way for the kids, for one of the kids to take over.
Okay, what happened to Joyce Hebert?
She's still living. She's in the hospital right now. And, but she ended up having a stroke, so she had to go in a nursing home. So that's where she resides now.
Very good. Okay, Mr. Tatum, if you'll let me know when, do you have a notary available there today?
Yes, she's right here.
Okay, let
Hi,
me,
Your
know
Honor.
if those proofs are notarized.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Saunders signing his right now.
Thank you.
Signing this too.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Once everything's signed and notarized, I'll sign the order admitting the will to probate as amendment of title. And Mr. Tate will guide you through the rest of the process. So I hope everything goes well. If y'all need anything, please feel free to call me.
Thank you so much.
I hope it goes smoothly.
Thank you.
In one contested case.
Did I sign mine now?
Yes, your grandsoners.
Yesterday, a day before yesterday. With Mr. Johns and Ms. Peraza.
Yes.
I signed it just like I did the other one, both of them. Okay.
Judge, do you want to get the oath of no debts against the state on the record? I can't recall if I asked about that or not.
Yeah, you can go ahead and file that, as long as they've signed the proofs and disinterested witnesses statements, I'm good. That will need to be filed with the clerk, obviously, before you can get a certified copy of the will and order.
Okay.
So, we all notarized?
One more document, Judge. Okay, look, how do I do that? I did that.
Just
They're
put it
good.
below.
Oh, yeah, just put it right here below. Okay.
What I'm gonna do. Before we move to Mr. Druid, I'm gonna run and check my email because I wrote Professor Fire. Texas Tech about
Okay.
that.
Anything else? Okay, everything's notarized.
All right, I've signed your orders and I hope everything goes well. Y'all have a great rest of your week.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Judge.
You too.
Thank you. Let me go check real quick.
kept Kelly as a toddler for several years.
Okay.
When she worked.
So it's safe to say that you've had a long-standing relationship with the family for a number of years.
Good morning, Mr. Druitt.
Morning.
Okay, where is Morris Andrew George?
I hear you, Your Honor.
I believe he's right there.
Okay, so Mr. George is the husband of Twyla George?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. George, if you raise your right hand, you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this call shall be the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. George, I'm gonna hold up what purports to be the last will and testament of Joseph Lee Griggs Jr. Do you recognize that as being his will?
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna go back to the signature page and ask you if you recognize that as being his signature.
Yes, sir.
And after the date he made this will on November 8th of 2001, did he ever revoke it or amend it?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, go right ahead, Mr. Druitt.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your name is Morris Andrew George, is that correct?
Yes.
And you're the same person who is named Andrew George in the will, is that correct?
Yes.
And we're here to probate the will of your brother-in-law, Joseph Lee Griggs Jr. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, you have been given, and I believe you should have in front of you, a document entitled Proof of Death and Other Facts. Have you read that document?
Yes.
Is everything stated in that document true and correct based on your personal knowledge?
Yes.
Okay, well, you've already identified the decedent's will, and in that will, you're appointed as personal representative, the executor, and you're asking the judge to appoint you as independent executor to serve without bond. Is that correct?
Yes.
You're telling the judge will do a good job and do what the will says. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor, that's what we have.
This on the Motorola device, is that Sidney Griggs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so Mr. George, what you're gonna do is you're gonna make arrangements with Mr. Druitt to execute your proof of death and other facts and your oath before a notary. He'll then e-file those with the county clerk. When he does that, I'll sign the order admitting the will to probate and authorizing the clerk to issue letters testamentary that'll give you authority to act on behalf of the estate. You then have 90 days within which to file what's called an inventory appraisement and list of claims with the court. So if you cooperate with Mr. Druitt in getting that done, the court would very much appreciate it. And I think that's all we have. Mr. Druitt, I did not like the end result of this case, but it appears that that Bailey case is determinative. So it is what it is.
Okay. We have other things that we can give the court. Mr. George is coming to the office this morning to finish signing all the documents.
Very good. All right, just get those to the clerk and we'll take care of getting the order signed, and let me know if y'all need anything else or any help, and I'll be happy to help, Mr. Druitt. And, oh, you have another case, Mr. Druitt, so I'll just allow Mr. George and Mr. Griggs to leave, and then you can we'll bring in your other clients.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank y'all. Have a great one.
Your Honor,
Good morning.
but when we get done, if you want, I can tell you one thing that might make you feel better about that.
That's great. We'll wait until we're finished. Is it Mrs. Aina?
Yes, it is. That was perfect.
All right. Ms. Aina, if I can get you to raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this call shall be the truth so help you God?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Aina, I'm gonna hold up what purports to be the last will and testament of Maria G. Salimi. Do you recognize that as being her will?
Yes.
And I'm gonna go back to the signature page and ask you, is that her signature on that document?
Yes.
And after the date she made this will on August 19th of 2014, did she ever change it or revoke it?
No.
Okay, go right ahead, Mr. Druitt.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your name is Mary E. Aina, is that correct?
Yes.
And we're here today to probate the will of your mother, Marie G. Salami. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, I have provided to you, and you should have a document entitled Proof of Death and Other Facts. Have you seen that document?
Yes.
And can you tell the court, is everything stated in that document true and correct based on your personal knowledge?
Yes.
Okay, now you've already identified the will, and that will appoint you to serve as independent executor without posting bond, and you're asking the court to appoint you as such. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you're telling the judge you will do a good job, right?
Yes, I will.
All right, that's all we have, Your Honor.
All righty, let's see here. All right, I think we have everything. So what you're gonna do, Ms. Aina, is you're gonna make arrangements to sign that proof of death and other facts before a notary public, just as your name is typed on there. Get that back
Okay.
to Mr. Druitt. Mr. Druitt will then e-file it with the county clerk. I'll sign the order admitting the will to probate and authorizing the clerk to issue letters that will give you authority to act on behalf of the estate. You'll then need to cooperate with Mr. Druitt in getting him a listing of the assets of your mother's estate, because he'll have 90 days from the date I sign the order to file an inventory with the court, and he'll need your assistance to get that accomplished, okay?
I will do it.
All right, I hope everything goes well. If you need anything, make sure and call us, but have a great rest of your week, and I'm gonna have a short conversation with Mr. Druitt. But
All
you
right.
are excused if you wish to go do something more productive.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you.
Stephanie, get me off.
Okay, Your Honor, what I was going to explain to you